Hello and welcome to Co-Creating with Cosmic Holly. It's December 4th, 2025, and today we'll be talking about the full moon in Gemini happening at 13 degrees 3 minutes Gemini in a few hours from now. So, before I start talking about the moon, I wanted to address a few things that are happening astrologically. The first is sort of what I've been feeling and what I think some other people who've been reaching out to me have been feeling. And that's this sense that like time is melting, like time is dissolving. And I think that may have to do with Saturn in Pisces coming very close to meeting up with Neptune in Pisces. They've been like teasing us with this. There's this conjunction that's going to happen. It's going to be an exact conjunction in February of 2026. Neptune dissolves things. Neptune is the dream. Neptune is the vastness of the universe, of reality. And Saturn wants to put structure to it all, and Saturn is also time. So if there's this feeling like time feels unreal, well, time kind of is a construct, and yet we have a chronology of events. We have calendars, we have clocks, we have our biological age that signifies time. But in an astrological sense, in an astronomical sense, we have all these patterns that happen in the sky. We have patterns that happen in our lives. The way we experience these patterns is not linear. So we may be feeling like this like linear sense of time feels like it's dissolving, it's speeding up, it's slowing down, it doesn't make sense. Well, Neptune in Pisces really brings us into this place of dreaming and expanding our imaginations. And Saturn, which usually likes to which builds structure, which sets limits, is in Pisces, kind of making sense of the dream, of the ocean of emotions, of this expansiveness. When Neptune and Saturn come together, it will be in February of 2026 at 0 degrees Aries. So Neptune and Saturn have both been moving. They came into Aries earlier this year, and then they've both gone retrograde back into Pisces. So there's anything that we need to learn or just clean up or like gather, it's happening now in the arena of Pisces, which is also, the unseen world, the feeling world, but it's the imagination, it's poetry, it's art, it's cinema, right? Just it's this like fantastical open space. It can also be, the realm of addictions and maybe going a little too far. So like, what do we need to clean up? That's kind of one of the things that might be occurring in your reality is noticing like what needs to really what needs to be healed on a deeply spiritual level. Saturn is now moving direct again, but it's still in Pisces, and Neptune is going to be direct soon. So it's a review. What are your dreams? Okay. What is it that you would like to bring into your life? What if you could imagine dreaming something that's beyond your lifetime? You know, we are like looking at the questions like, what is this? Kind of ask yourself this question. What is my dream for 250 years from now? So let's look at like a whole Pluto return. What's my dream for 250 years from now? You know, what kind of, and Saturn wants to take the action on whatever the dream is, or Saturn wants to set up the structure so that Mars can take the action. So if time feels like it's kind of dissolving, I'd say like work with that. Let that dissolve be something that allows you to expand your imagination and play. I'm always going to suggest play. I also wanted to say that Jupiter and Saturn are pretty much in a trine. Jupiter's in Cancer, Saturn's in Pisces. Jupiter is the planet of, you know, luck and expansion, sometimes overdoing it, but mostly like when we think about Jupiter, we think about jubilance and joy and luck, and while it's in Cancer, Jupiter really wants to cultivate what it is that you really love, what it is that makes you feel at home and nurtured, and also to be cultivating community. And allow yourself to kind of go with what Jupiter would like to expand. And today is Jupiter's day. It's Thursday. So also just allow yourself to maybe sit down for you know, a few minutes and imagine what it is you would like to you know, imagine what it would feel like to be lucky or expansive in cultivating what you love, protecting your environment, protecting the environment, the ultimate Mother Earth, right? The ultimate mother. Cancer is the mother, Mother Earth. Saturn wants to support that. Saturn is supporting that right now, even in the watery place. You're probably going to get information on the actions to take through not through thinking and analyzing, but through letting yourself daydream, letting yourself imagine, and the answers are going to come to you through dreams. Finally, we have Mercury now moving direct. It was retrograde until last week. It was in Sagittarius. It went back into Scorpio, went back into the hell realms and is moving quickly, is going to trine Jupiter first. So you're going to get a message. Mercury is the messenger. So you may hear messages as it trines Jupiter, and then it's going to trine Saturn. So you may be getting messages, not only scorpionic messages, but messages from the Cancer side of things and messages from the Pisces side of reality. And that brings us to the full moon. The full moon is Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Gemini is opposing the sun right now. And it's sandwiched between opposing Venus. Venus is at 5 degrees Sagittarius. The sun is at 13 degrees Sagittarius, as the moon is 13 degrees Gemini. And then it will be opposing Mars at 22 degrees Sagittarius. So there's, I think the trick with this kind of energy, because the moon is our emotional energy, is again to let the Gemini energy be like, how can this be playful? How can this be fun? Is there a, can I laugh? What makes me laugh? What makes me want to connect in a joyful way with other people? There may be this attraction as well to people who are deeply philosophical, who are it's like Gemini is the doorway to connecting with other people, right? Gemini likes to bop around the neighborhood and see what's going on. And then the flip side of it is Sagittarius, where the energy goes really deep. So it's like Gemini is kind of the doorway, and Sagittarius is kind of like, oh, well, now I've dove into this deep study. Like, I think I remember reading somewhere that Gemini is like the person who is into like comic books, and Sagittarius is the person who's into like 19th century English literature. I know a lot of people, myself included, who like both those things, right? So there's sort of this energy that there's a dance happening right now, because Sagittarius is where the sun is. It's Sagittarius season, and Gemini's moving through it. And I think the Gemini moon can tell Sagittarius to lighten up a little bit. Sagittarius is pretty light, but when they get they can get a little bit dogmatic about their philosophy. Whereas Sagittarius can let Gemini know, like, this thing that you're interested in, or these 8 things that you're interested in are things that you can go deep with if you want to, and like continue to bring that playful energy into whatever it is that you're interested in. Mercury is highlighted right now, one, because it's going through all there's going to be a lot of trining happening, but also it rules Gemini. So some of the messages you get, this is the time, the full moon is the time when we get clarity on, whatever it is that we put out, whatever it is that we had questions about or wanted to intend from 2 weeks ago during the new moon, or from 18 months ago during the Gemini new moon on June 6, 2024. So, if we're working with the moon cycles, we have the new moon where we kind of review and set intentions, or, think about what it is we want to do next. Then we start to get energy during the quarter moon, and now at the full moon, we have a pretty good idea about the energy and messages we're receiving. There is going to be some kind of clarity during this moon. At the same time, I feel like some of that clarity is going to be coming from a place that's very kind of dreamy, or not the usual, super analytical, right in your face. Some of it might be, but there's going to be an edge to it. I feel like I experienced that like in a dream actually this morning, where I dreamt that I had a dog. It was like a Labradoodle that came in through the dog door with a raven in its mouth and was, playing with the raven, possibly going to injure the raven. But I woke up and I was like, oh, wow. Now that's kind of like the dog itself, a Labradoodle, would make me think of Gemini energy, like playful and sweet, and then but dragging in like a raven, which is much more Scorpio, is much more scorpionic, because a raven or a crow can travel between heaven and hell and bring messages. So I was like, whoa. It's like that kind of energy. So we're going to have dreams, coincidences, and synchronicities. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pull some cards. So again, this is when you are getting clear on what it is you're committing to with this full moon. The full moon always asks us to make some kind of commitment. Also, you might find yourself out and about. This is the time when you may be going on short trips to meet up with people, or see what's going on, little parties. Right? So I just want to say the bottom of the deck, Lovers. That's Gemini. But the cards that came out were the Three of Coins, the Queen of Coins, and then the Six of Swords. Okay, so we'll start with the Three of Coins is basically making plans. You've got the plans are drawn up. This is wild. The plans are drawn up, and everything that is ready to build. This is like you're building on an idea and making it come into physical reality. There's a the beginnings of a physical manifestation. This person is drawing something that they're looking at. You can't see what they're looking at, but it looks like a person, because it looks like they're drawing a little face there. And they're very focused. So there's something about the physical reality, the physical manifestation of things still being in the idea stage, but it's ready to go. And also that it's kind of a place where like all these elements are coming together to create the reality of your vision. Now, the Queen of Coins is the emotional intelligence of physical reality. The Queen embodies manifestation. So we're definitely experiencing some sort of something's coming together. The Queen she is the experience of physicality, wealth, health, pleasure. The action it's in process. And then finally, whatever that action is going to move us from previously, like there may have been turmoil that created the whole need for the action to happen. And now that there's movement, there's like a move toward calmer waters. Like there's this process of this idea happening versus this idea, and it's that Three of Swords kind of creates a little bit of an upset. But then you bring that feeling through you let yourself feel the feelings, and it ultimately brings you to this clarity where you can draw up a plan or draw up a vision that creates physical manifestation. The Lovers can be partnering with another person. It can also be partnering with that aspect of yourself that is divinely inspired. And that divine inspiration creates balance and a new entity. Got something new here. We've got just this beautiful potential. These lovers are kind of in the potential stage. Yeah, so I would say that allow yourself this week to, if you feel yourself agitated, let yourself pause before try not to push through the agitation, but let it move. This is moving through the wind is moving it. It's not, people aren't rowing. They're just going. Oh, it's so funny. That just made me think of Charlie in the Chocolate Factory when they're in the boat and he goes, there's no way of knowing which way we're going, and it gets really scary, and then all of a sudden they're in this like, cool. I mean, it's kind of, the whole story is kind of spooky, right? But there's also just like, kind of just see where it goes. Anyway, feel the feelings, and then let yourself take action toward manifestation. So whatever messages we get this week, they're only going to expand what it is we have already set into motion. And so just let yourself be in the experience. The queen is always an emotional, I love that we've got the Queen of Coins here, because not only is it like she's already like, I have everything I need, we have everything we need, but there's this emotional intelligence in our physicality, in our experience of wealth, our embodiment of our experience, and allowing that to be pleasurable, allowing the embodiment of your experience to be pleasure. I mean, or to be neutral if it's unpleasant. If it's slightly uncomfortable, it's the feelings that might be uncomfortable. Anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to close here. It feels like there's a lot moving forward with this Gemini full moon, so take advantage of the energy, enjoy it, and I'll see you next week. If you'd like to get an in-person reading with me, you can book a reading with me through Medica Magica at medicamagica.com. If you'd like to get an online reading with me, you can go to my website, hollytroy.com/tarot, and you can book a reading with me there. Okay, peace.